It's wonderful to have you here today because nothing, absolutely nothing, is by chance. The universe moves the right pieces, and your angel says there is a special reason for you to receive this message now. Think of the person who constantly occupies your thoughts, the one your heart insists on calling. Who came to your mind? Be honest with yourself. You feel that you are getting closer and closer to getting what you so deeply desire, whether it's a lost love or a new flame that is beginning to ignite. And you know what? It's not just a feeling. It's a sign. It's destiny giving you that push you've been waiting for. What comes next could change everything. Maybe there's a distance between you two right now that feels hard to shorten. Who pulled away first? Does it really matter? The truth is, the situation became strained, maybe too heavy, as if both of you were carrying the weight of 1,000 uncertainties. Someone was left on the sidelines, unsupported, and now feels an echoing emptiness, a void that cries out for your presence. There's something that was lost, something that left an open space when you both drifted apart. You know, and maybe she knows too, that your presence in her life was not just anything. It was a source of strength, a light that brought security amid the shadows of doubt. She felt a confidence that has now gone with the winds of distance. And it's not just that, you were that refuge, a safe corner where she could lower her guard and breathe without fear. That kind of comfort, that emotional shelter, seems to be something she simply can't find in anyone else. In the most complicated moments, when her world seemed to be falling apart, you were there. You were the calm in the storm, the shoulder to lean on when things got too heavy to bear alone. Those difficult times, when adversity seemed insurmountable, you were the support she needed. When she chose to step away or when circumstances, sometimes beyond your control, intervened in some way, maybe something bigger, something that God planned, who knows. She ended up losing an important source of peace and comfort she found in you. During the time you were by her side, she felt something that seemed true, something that made her see the shine in every detail of life, even if just for a moment. Those moments may have been brief, intense, full of a joy that seemed impossible to reach before. But what you both lived, whether it was a short romance, a simple flirt, or something more intense, had a meaning that went beyond the definitions we usually use. It was like a spark that ignited something within her. And now, with everything so unclear, with things seemingly headed for an unofficial end, it's as if she's clinging to that memory, feeling a longing that has no name. She longs, with every part of herself, for you to come back. It's almost as if something inside her is not ready to let go of all that was shared. This desire to have you close again reflects that she is still attached to what you both experienced, to the feelings that were born there. She feels that something precious was left behind. And even if distance, time, or anything else has come between you, her heart still echoes with a desire to feel that connection again, that peace you brought. You're dealing with someone who carries a restless soul, an energy that can't be held back, a person who guards her freedom as a sacred possession and who somehow always resists being carried away by the depth of another soul. It's as if there's an invisible barrier that prevents this connection from deepening, but at the same time, it's fascinating how this barrier does not erase the impact you had. It's as if a part of you was left forever in her mind, something that does not fade, that continues to echo day after day, like a soft but constant melody. She may try to move on, keeping herself busy with life's distractions, changing direction, places, people, but it's as if there's an invisible line always pulling her back to those memories you built. That impact was so profound that you became a kind of tattoo on her soul, something that cannot be removed, a mark that withstands time and change. The absence of you is almost like a shadow that follows her, a shadow that, even though intangible, is there, present in every step, in every breath, in every gaze lost in the void. And in the midst of all this, there is a point of conflict, a third person who was already there from the beginning, even before your paths crossed. When everything began to deepen between you, that person was already there, almost rooting herself in your life, bringing an intense load, a possessive desire to have someone you started to consider special. And things moved too quickly, a mixture of feelings that could no longer be endured. The pressure was strong and started to suffocate. It reached a point where it could no longer continue. There was no other choice, it was time to step away. You felt in your skin that to protect your inner peace, cutting all ties was the only way out. And look, I know it wasn't easy at all. In the middle of this turmoil, you went through suffering that only those who have lived through it understand. The anguish hit hard, your chest tightened, and it felt like the ground would disappear. Every moment of pain you lived is legitimate. It is yours. Every tear, every doubt, every insecurity has its weight and deserves to be respected. And if today you still feel this discomfort, this anxiety that comes out of nowhere, or an insecurity that holds you back, take a deep breath. Know that there is a light by your side, something greater, like a guardian angel, embracing you even when you think you're alone. This energy is there, accompanying you, whispering in your heart that things will get better. It may be hard to believe right now, in the middle of the storm, but this feeling of heaviness, this pain in the chest that seems endless, will dissipate. The person with whom you shared so many special moments is more open than ever to hear what you have to say. She always saw something different in you, a warmth, a presence that makes her feel at home. You are someone who, in her eyes, has a welcoming way, a beauty that goes beyond appearance. It's as if she feels there is something very strong that connects you two, something that cannot be explained with words alone but is there, vibrating in the air whenever you are together. This attraction you feel is not something shallow, seen on the surface. It goes deep, down to the soul's heart of each one, as if there is an energy that pulls you toward each other in a way that defies any attempt to understand. It's as if there is an invisible but very real force that unites you, as if both are pieces of a puzzle that fit perfectly. And this feeling, this certainty that there is something more between you, is what makes everything so intense and special. It is a connection that goes beyond the physical, touching a more spiritual, deeper level. This person wants more than just a simple friendship. She desperately wants to rekindle that contact that was once so special between you. She wants to reopen those channels of dialogue that may have closed, saying without any pretense, "Let's talk again." It's as if she is always trying to hold back the desire to reach out to you, to talk to you, because the strength of what she feels is so great it leaves her without ground, somewhat lost. When feelings come to the surface, she feels exposed in a way she is not used to. Usually, she keeps her emotions under control, always guarded, but with you, the story is different. She understands how special you are, how you have an incredible ability to reinvent yourself, to make the best of any situation, no matter how complicated it may seem. She sees in you a strength and adaptability worthy of admiration. There is something between you that never completely fades away. It's as if there is an invisible bond that continues to unite you, a connection that goes beyond spoken words. Even when silence takes over, there is a constant flow of thoughts and dreams that seem to echo between you. Many times, the words almost came out, many messages were written, loaded with feelings that never reached their destination. They stayed there on the fingertips, but were never sent, creating a space full of intentions, of everything that could be said, but for some reason, remained in the air. She tried to communicate with you in a sincere way, opening her heart in a message, but for some reason, it seems that message never reached you. She used digital means to get her words to you, but those words were lost along the way. Maybe they ended up in the spam folder, or perhaps some technology error prevented you from receiving them. The frustration she feels is almost palpable because all her attempts to connect failed. She is there on the other side, feeling powerless, unable to show how much your presence in her life matters. She shows regret. And she admits it's been difficult for her to feel capable of influencing your life or trusting you the way she did before, especially when the distance between you has only increased. It is a kind of regret that is not just about what was said or not said, but about what was felt and what could not be expressed. She is very sorry for having pulled away, and looking back now, she sees that it may have been a mistake. A hasty decision that only brought more uncertainty and sadness. Now what remains for her is this feeling of emptiness, of absence. The lack of you has weighed more and more. She is going through a tough moment, a phase of suffering and dissatisfaction, where your absence has become a painful point in her life. She is in a whirlwind of emotions that go beyond missing you. It's not just the lack of you but the idea that you may be finding joy in someone else's arms. It's as if in her mind, a phrase repeats over and over, "I should be the one in your thoughts." Her jealousy is real and painful, almost palpable, because she imagines you with someone new, someone who seems to offer the love she always wanted to give, someone who shows they care deeply, someone who wouldn't think of leaving you. She feels a tightness in her chest every time she thinks of someone else taking the place she had by your side. If in any way you feel that these words do not apply directly to you, think again. It could be that these emotions touch someone close to you, A friend, perhaps, or a family member who knows well this confusion of feelings and who has been by your side, offering support and understanding. There's no denying it. The situation is full of ups and downs, with emotion fighting reason at every moment. However, even amid this tangle of conflicting feelings, there is a thread of hope. A light energy, but present, suggesting that maybe there is still a way to rebuild what was broken. Perhaps there is still space to rewrite this story so that you too can, somehow, find a balance, a more peaceful and happy way to move forward. She knows she was selfish. She is fully aware of it. She recognizes that sometimes it seems like she was the one who pushed you away, left you in the dark, but deep down, that is not the truth. It took time, but she began to see that all of this was a reaction, a poorly calculated defense mechanism, and not a concrete reality. She acted as if she were the victim of everything, but now she understands that much of what she did was impulsive, reckless, without thinking about how her actions and words could affect you. She carries heavy regret, you know? It's a feeling that eats at her, a regret that gives no rest, because it is directly linked to what happened between you two. She regrets every second of what was said and done, and deep down, she blames herself a lot for it. She keeps struggling with thoughts that seem never-ending. I'm not enough for you, but I want to try again, I want you with me. This is a phase of transformation, of a lesson that does not come easily. It's about being truly honest, not just with you but, above all, with herself. Before, it was so much easier to hide what she felt. She always took refuge in a mask of indifference, pretended she didn't care, that she felt nothing. But now, she has reached a point where she can't hide anymore. She feels she needs to face herself head-on, without looking away. She finds herself forced to confront her emotions head-on, with no room to escape or ignore. Every day, the reality of her choices and desires imposes itself on her, and the feeling of being lost seems to grow. Deep down, she feels that no one who comes into her life will ever reach her essence. It's a constant restlessness, a deep void that finds no rest. She lives tormented by the fear of never being truly understood again. Sadness invades her, a silent but persistent kind of pain, like a wound that never heals. It is hard for her to deal with the idea that she lost something so important. The notion that you were the best thing that ever happened in her life weighs on her like an incontestable truth. This feeling of failure, of having let something irremediable slip away, follows her like a shadow. The feeling of loss is not just of someone, but of a part of herself that is gone. It is an absence that seems to scream amid the silence, and she carries it in her chest, day after day, in a longing that seems never-ending. You have everything she values and seeks most. There is something in your eyes, a kind of depth that seems to reach what she guards most secretly. Your intelligence, your way of seeing the world, your ability to embrace. All of this fascinates her in an almost magical way. It's as if, by your side, she could finally lower her guard and be seen as she truly is. It's not just about being heard but being understood at levels she has never experienced before. The feeling of being seen by you is unique, and she cherishes it as a rare treasure. This connection you had was something she never found anywhere else. She thinks about it constantly, in moments when she misses a gaze that truly sees, a presence that truly matters. And there is this energy in you, a kind of vibration that she misses, a clarity and purity in your heart that makes her feel safe, without needing to pretend or mold herself to please. She recognizes that this kind of understanding is rare, and that's exactly what haunts her, the fear that maybe she will never find something like that again. On the other side, she is determined. She knows she needs something meaningful to try to communicate again in a way that makes sense, that resonates. She no longer wants superficialities, no more empty words or automatic gestures. She wants truth, depth, something that truly touches. He is choosing his words carefully, thinking through every detail, every point, so that everything makes sense and you can feel the sincerity he carries. He doesn't want any beating around the bush, no half-truths. He wants everything to be clear and direct. He wants you to see what really happened, what he lived, what led him to make difficult decisions. No hiding emotions or masking intentions. He wants to make you a real proposal, without empty promises or pretty words that mean nothing. He wants to offer you a chance to start over, to heal the wounds and maybe, to relive what was interrupted. But he knows that this can only happen if he is transparent, if he opens up without fear of showing his weaknesses, without fear of being human. That's why he wants this conversation to be different. He wants it to be a conversation where every word spoken is felt, where every sentence has a weight and a truth that you can see in his eyes. He wants you to feel what he feels, that he understands the mistakes, the failures, the decisions that hurt, but also that he understands the value of the moments you lived, the smiles, the long conversations, the sleepless nights spent together. He wants to tell you everything that happened while he was away, everything he learned, the unexpected turns along the way, the doubts, the fears, but also the moments of clarity, the moments when he realized that certain things in life cannot be ignored. That certain people, certain connections, are worth more than any pride or stubbornness. With this desire to be honest and open, he doesn't just want to fix what was broken. He wants to create something new on top of what has always been there, even if silently. He wants you to know that despite everything, there is something that remains. A bond, a feeling that wasn't erased, that resisted time and distance. He wants you to see it, to feel it, and maybe be willing to give a new chance to something that deserves to be lived again, but in a different way, more mature, more conscious. His proposal is simple. He wants to speak from the heart, without filters, without secrets. He wants you to see who he really is, with his successes and failures, and together, you can decide what to do from there. No rush, no pressure. Just two hearts that somehow still care. Let these words echo deeply in your soul. The universe is committed to ensuring your success and will continue to guide you toward positive outcomes, no matter the choices you make. Always remember that you are deserving and destined for a love that seems written in the stars. To fully absorb this message and all the blessings it carries, declare in the comments, "I accept," and open yourself up to receive the divine will today. Share your thoughts in the comments, don't forget to leave a like, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the next important message that will come in the next video. May God and the universe light each of your steps with peace, love, and faith. Amen.